The person in front of me is a stylist, educator, a fitness champ, a woman's wellness and mindset coach. She's a lover of cropover and carnival. She is the creator and host of the powerful solo podcast, Wake Up to Wisdom. She's someone who blends beauty with intention, mindset with style, and purpose with presence. Welcome to the show, the incomparable Gigi Farrier.
Oh, made me slightly tearful there, Matt. That's
Welcome, and finally, thanks for coming.
Thank you for waiting an entire year and a half or something for me. Yeah, thank you for waiting.
It's been a while, but good things come to wait. So I'm grateful that you're here. You're okay?
I'm good. I'm just like, my eyes started. I was like, damn, okay. And then that was all that. Yeah, I'm good.
So
I'm happy to be here.
The way how that sounds, you do many things, multifaceted. So I have to ask you, what season are you in now?
Get my PhD season.
Right. So you're a student.
Yeah, at the very beginning of it. I'm not crying, y'all. My eyes just tear up, but I smile a lot. Plus the lashes.
You want tissue?
Nah, it should be good.
All right.
Yeah, I'm a student. I'm currently pursuing the beginning part of my journey, my BSc in psychology.
Mm-hmm.
And that's my main priority right now. To be honest, my main priority is living life with purpose and being a minister of enjoyment from time to time.
Minister of enjoyment.
And getting those degrees, child. Yeah. It's been a long journey back to education. And I'm beyond grateful to be there. I mean, grateful is literally an understatement. So
after all this time, how does it feel to be back in a educational space? And like, what do you think is different between when you first started and now?
So for me, it feels aligned. It never felt aligned before, to be very honest. BCC and UE was not like my best experience at all. The differences are tech. Like, it's amazing. I actually am first of all, I never wanted to study psychology before anyway. I was like, from the time I was a kid, I was always like, I'm going to be a lawyer and I'm going to be a lawyer and I'm going to be a lawyer and I'm going to be a lawyer. End of story. But life happens and we adapt and we adjust if we have the capacity. So now there's the beauty of AI and like using AI ethically and just being able to use all these different tools that really help me as a person to learn a lot better. But also I just like tech, right? And just like, I mean, as you saw before we started, I'm like, don't do this.
That's why I tell you should be producing this.
So, yeah, I actually love it. I love it. I don't have the usual annoyances, I guess, that people have, but I also took like 20 years to get back here. So I think my gratitude and my experience is going to look very different because of my life experience. So
right. And what did you study before you went to Paul Mitchell the school?
Which part? I studied a lot before I did Paul Mitchell. I did BCC and UE.
And UE.
Yeah. So I went to Paul Mitchell this school. Interesting experience for me. I am probably on the surface, I seem like this stereotypical hairstylist type. I'm not at all.
For sure.
Yeah, like I'm really, really not. And when I got there, I was like, "Oh, Dorothy, we're not in Kansas anymore, baby." It was like very distinct. You know, like that season of my life, I would say like maybe that like 4 or 5 years, it was like a lot of me realizing I'm very different than a lot of people. Wow, like my internal experience and people's experience seems to be very different.
What stand out the most that made you say that you were different?
Okay, so a couple things. I'll try to make it succinct because I'm very good at telling a short story long and not a long story short. One thing that really stood out to me was I remember being in this particular we used to have this thing called like guest artists on Wednesdays, and everybody would go into like the auditorium and you listen to these, I mean, like sometimes world famous people. Like the person who people think is Paul Mitchell is this man named John Paul DeJoria. So it could be him, and he's like a, you know, he's been on Shark Tank. Like he's a really pretty big deal.
Yeah, for sure.
And but there was this particular guy named Win Claybaugh, and he was one of like the founders of the education side of it, if I remember correctly, of the school. And he was just like, you know, just fake it till you make it. And he was like saying he's never been a person that has been able to access joy with ease. Mm-hmm. And I was looking around me. I was this is like Florida in like 2009. Honestly, like it's a lot of drugs. There's a lot of like people using things that they really shouldn't be using. But people using things are usually using things because they're looking for an out,
An escape.
right? Like, so things don't happen in a vacuum usually. And I was like, I don't have a problem accessing joy. Like, even in the midst of the worst of times, like gratitude is like kind of my default.
Yeah.
Which I've learned is actually like a gift, like a
Right.
genuine blessing and like a superpower.
Well, you are the minister of enjoyment.
Well, you know, continental. Hey. No, but like, yeah, like I just remember, and I remember everybody and they're kind of looking like, yeah, and I was like, nah, like, were you
Right.
talking? Like, it was just not. It was, I don't know. It's just different for me. And then like just being there, it was like a real culture shock. I had lived in New York as a kid and stuff, but Florida was just a culture shock all around. And I just, yeah, like it was very unfamiliar.
You were able to find your tribe there?
No.
Right. Like not even like one other person.
No, a tribe is a stretch. I found people that I would say like I value and I appreciate, and I really appreciate how some of those people were good to me and
Right.
very like, you know, it's like being in college or uni, like you're brat. You know what I mean? I'm the hustler, still hustling, doing crazy things, like doing people's hair in my bed, in my house, and like, which is crazy because it's Florida. There's a lot of strange things happening in Florida. Right. But I did find really beautiful people. I don't know, like for whatever reason in my life, like Latinos have always been like in my life, and that works for me. And yo hablo un poquitico español, so está bien. I don't know, it just works out. The food and everything. That's probably like what made me feel most at home. But it was very different being there. It was very different from New York, and it was definitely a culture shock for me.
Right. So we got the Paul Mitchell School. So we went a little bit and BCC. And you studied there?
BCC. So my first year I was away. So I'm not going to say what I was going to say. I was away. And as such, I applied for something, but they just kind of put me wherever.
Right.
So I ended up doing politics, German, and history for my first year. And I would have then done transferred and done law and sociology. Did I go to class much? Not really. But my GPA was fairly decent. So
and
thankfully.
At what moment you felt like the nudge to go and study like cosmetology and aesthetics and hair and all that?
Matt, these are the questions you asked that give you the answers you were not expecting. I didn't. My life changed drastically when I was about 18 or 19. So BCC really way I wouldn't go to class and stuff too. Like the social element of BCC was very harrowing for me. I didn't really like being there. I'm sorry to everyone who went to school with me, but a lot of the people too, I was like, these people are not very kind to each other.
Right.
I felt like I was in a really like a teen movie, like Clueless or something, like, you know, like Mean Girls or I never really watched Mean Girls, but like the vibe I get from that, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, like again, that was probably the beginning of me being like, I'm very different than these people. Like they're taking 10 minutes to get my jokes. Like I'm not giving what I'm supposed to give, you know, but not that I would have wanted to be anybody else, but I just was like, I'm real different. Like it really started to hit me. I didn't really have verbiage for that back then. I do now. I guess we'll inevitably get to that later. I was like, do I say this? Do I not?
I think you should say it. It's better to say it than not say
yeah, I'll get to it. Big at one of my boys. She's like, you know, you could bring Michaela or Gigi. Which, by the way, for all the people, my name is Michaela Gigi. Gigi is not an acronym. Please stop spelling it with 2 capital G's. Like, that's not my name.
You're right.
She named after someone is actually a very important name to me.
So your real name is what?
Michaela Gigi Farrier.
Okay.
Like,
my
legit.
sister's name is Michaela.
Yes. She who's closest to God. That's what it means. But yeah, so BCC was like a lot. I was having a very, very hard time. Like my GPA was 3.86 when I would have transferred into the law and social program. But to be honest, I really didn't like go to class. I do everything but go to class. I would like go to town. I would go to class sometimes. But I just hated being there. Like I really didn't like the social environment. It was not my favorite thing at all. I started to get very like bad panic attacks. I had never had panic attacks before. Panic attacks that really resemble seizures. Sometimes I just collapse and like blackout at BCC, like just walking into the cafeteria randomly. Yeah.
Okay.
I told you. I warned him. There is a reason why it took a year to come on here. I had to like be ready.
All right. So hold on. So this blackout, this situation, what causes that?
So at the time, I just was told like I had social anxiety,
Right.
which seemed really off brand for me because anyone who knows me knows like I know everybody.
Right.
I'm surprised I don't know that. Like the people behind the scenes for everybody. It's like I don't even know where to look.
Okay, well, they're young.
Yeah, like I don't know. Like I mean, I can't say I never like felt awkward or I never had anxiety and stuff. I always had anxiety around like sports and stuff. You know, you're going to compete or play a game or whatever. I always would have that type of anxiety, but I don't know that I had anxiety just generalized for people. Or basically, like this, like as I said, like this social element, I was like I actually care about being a good person. I don't want to be mean. I don't want to be female doggish. I don't want to, you know, like I actually just like to be a good person, to be honest with you. I'm not saying I'm a perfect person. Like we've all done stuff. I've definitely done stuff, but I don't know. It just was like a strange narrative to me. And it made me really uncomfortable. And I really just, I would have been anywhere but there. I would have gone to like an all girls boarding school in Prague before. Like I just really didn't like it.
Right.
Yeah.
So it feel like everywhere you went.
Yeah, I always felt like a little like off.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a little like out of place.
Or is there a time you ever felt like, yeah, I'm home?
No.
You ever felt that way?
Yeah, no.
No?
No.
Oh, no.
No, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was the switch?
And probably like music too, when I did music as well. Yeah.
Because you find like the creatives and the musicians that you were around were more like-minded or?
I just love music. Like I can't help but to like be my fullest, most distinct self when I sing. Like there's no like masking. There's no like I can't help it. Like music is like a very raw experience. Anybody who ever saw me sing when I was like in that season of life would like it's just what it is. Like it's a freedom, you know. And I guess for whatever reason I felt like I wasn't free in other areas of life where I was very like, let's see how this goes kind of thing. Very like conscious.
Okay. I still stuck at the part with this passing out because that ain't normal.
No, it wasn't normal. And I thought it was very strange because sometimes too, it would like happen in scenarios where to me, like I wasn't even triggered by anything.
Right.
Yeah. We get to it. Go worry. We'll get to it. Yeah. Honestly, I was just kind of like, I mean, I guess, but it's not really making sense. It would be like the first time it happened, I feel like I was in like boatyard. Some people are too young to even know what that means for us. But I was at Yard Fest.
One time it was called Taboo.
Taboo.
Is it still taboo now?
I don't know, but it was taboo at that time too, if I'm remembering correctly. I feel like I had like a drink or something, like pineapple and vodka or something. Mind you, I'm allergic to both of those things now. So there's that. So at first I just thought like, oh, maybe I'm just having an allergic reaction. I can't, because I just couldn't breathe. But then like it would just happen, even if it just happened without any catalyst. So yeah, it was not, and it was quite humiliating, obviously, like because then people think like you're drunk or something, and I was not drunk for sure. So yeah.
All right, so we went through school and where you study, and then, but you're more than a hairstylist.
I hope. I sure hope
you were able to like intersect like social media and management and the music and content and all that, like how all of those things kind of tie into each other and help each other.
Okay, so it actually started with me being a wardrobe stylist. So when I was doing law and society, I would skip classes. Don't be like me, kids. Anyway, to do jobs. So like there's this really important person in my life. Well, actually two people. One, Sean Field, that was featured previously. He would have given me like an opportunity when he was filming a music video to, he was like, oh, you said you wanted to like, you were interested in wardrobe styling and like, and set design and stuff. He's like, so I got your first job. The first job was the next day. I mean, I had nothing. Like, it was like me just scouring my closet, like looking for things. Anyway, I styled this music video alone. And that catalyzed me being a stylist. So then like from the styling thing, when I was at UE, I ended up getting, my friend was like, oh, my boss is looking for somebody who looks like they're from New York. I was like, yeah, but I don't do hair. And she was like, yeah, it doesn't matter. Like, we'll teach you, whatever. So that's how the hair vibe kind of began to creep in.
Okay.
But that was like just like a side gig at the time. And then I was working with artists. From there on, I I don't even know. I guess like my brain gets bored and I just need different stimuli. So I was working with artists, and then when I like eased away from working with artists, because anybody who's ever worked with artists could tell you artists are very temperamental, myself included. I'm not temperamental in those ways. I'm temperamental when the song is supposed to be in the A and you're doing it in a G. I'm temperamental then. Especially when I done took 42 hours to rehearse that song before I got there, you know, or however long. But I'm not temperamental anyways, that some of the artists I worked with were. It became like just a little bit much for me. And then I was always a writer. I've been writing like poetry and just writing since I was like, I don't even know. Like, I don't remember a time when I wasn't writing. I can remember what Kahalaisi poetry. I was like 14. I think I'm big at everybody on this podcast because I feel like people deserve their flowers. That's very big to me. So I had this teacher, Rennie Thomas, and she's like, oh, you need to write poetry about like your best friend or somebody you admire. So I wrote about my best friend, big at Dion. And I never stopped writing after that for a very, very long time. And yeah, so then my blog just kind of came as a part of that. I had like done really well in like English, and it just kind of happened. I always loved blogging. I mean, like I would say, like my big dream was I really wanted to be like at Fashion Week in every capacity, like Italy, you know, Australia, everywhere. I always loved fashion. I love style. But it didn't work out like that for me. And I just used my blog. Like I just never gave up. And then my blog became something very different. And it was more me writing about life and not just fashion. And I guess like that kind of started the other stuff. Because then the digital age became more relevant, right? And people started doing, you know, more on social media and getting partnerships and on Instagram and Facebook and that kind of thing. And so it just kind of, I guess it kind of happened organically.
Yeah, because it could have gone a different direction where you could just be posting about style and hair and more surface level stuff, but you went.
And I feel like like as much as I've been a hairstylist for, I think this is 18 years, like I feel like in comparison to everything else, I hardly post about hair. I hardly, like, there are people who didn't probably till this podcast wouldn't even know I was a hairstylist. Which is crazy to us, but it's something that happens actually a lot. So
you list off so much things. And you know, like obviously it's different to other people because we grew up with this one-dimensional thing where you gotta be one thing and you gotta stick to it, and then it's real hard for people to see you doing anything else.
Yeah, that happened to me too, though.
Right. You know, so I want to hear like how it was for you coming up and you trying all these different things. Do you think it was difficult, like moving and pivoting?
So pivoting and moving, in some regards, yes, but not so much. So when I mentioned like I would never really feel like I fit in, because like I was always like this. Like the world welcomes this now, but like I was like this 20 years ago. I was like this 25 years ago. Like this is not new to me, and they didn't really welcome it then. At least not our world in Barbados. So I would always, I think that's like why I didn't like why I wouldn't want to be here too, because I would just feel like, you know, like in the real world, I will always say that, like, I'm not that different. Because people will say, you're so different. You're just so different. Everything's so different. I'm like, it ain't that different. We just live in a very small place where it seems different because we don't have that, like, scope or whatever. And then socials were not like how they are now. But pivoting, I don't know if pivoting was hard for me. I think my hardest pivot was going back to UE to actually, like, do what I wanted to do. I had to figure out what I wanted to do at this stage as well, and so like stuff like that. But other than that, it just kind of happened organically. Like there came a point where it was like, I don't feel like doing music anymore. I'm tired. I'm really tired of gigging. I rehearse a lot. I teach music. It just, sometimes things just run their course, and I feel like I am okay with leaving things when they run their course. No.
Right. Gotcha. I can list a couple names. I might get the names a little wrong, but I want you to like tell me.
Oh, the aliases or whatever. Is that where we're going?
No,
okay.
No, we ain't going there. I just want you to tell me like a sentence when you hear it. Like just think about who you were and what was happening.
Cool.
And just describe it. So I want you to tell me about John Frieda Salon.
Oh, so beginning of the hair journey. You did your research. Beginning of the hair journey. John Frieda Salon was in Sandy Lane. That would have been like UE. So left BCC, doing law and society, did philosophy. Yeah, I know. Matt, really, I told you it was a lot. And I feel like most people don't really know me. Like, it's just,
Yeah. So we won't do that
yeah.
now. Right. Yeah. We doing that now.
I'm like, yeah, people really don't know. Yeah, so I was a philosophy major at UE part-time. Yeah, basically my friend just called. She said, want somebody that lives later from New York. As I said, style has always been my like a very important form of expression for me.
Okay.
And yeah, that's John Frieda. I was
Okay. The
I don't
next
know,
one,
maybe 19.
the next one will be the W Salon.
W Salon 24. First full managing opportunity. Massive learning curve. Massive learning curve. I think actually, to be honest, I wasn't even sure if I really wanted to do hair anymore.
Okay.
Which maybe I knew from Paul Mitchell, to be honest. But I think when you have like a talent, you know, you should honor that, especially if that has honored you or provided for you.
Okay.
So yeah, that would have been like 24 to 25. Yeah.
How about Bimrock Magazine? 2014 to 2015.
Yeah, 2014. A season of very distinct transition for me as a person. Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed those interviews and stuff though. I had some real good times, had some hiccups too, you know, but it was an interesting time. I remember too, actually one of my most memorable moments with Ben Rock is styling Brutal Crank Star. I love the bad boys them, you know. I love to see them. I love the vibe. I love the energy of like dance hall and stuff like that. Like if I had a different level of rated skills, I'd be in Jamaica all no, you know what I mean? Yeah, man, Brutal and yeah, Vita, who would have been like one of my first styling clients back in the day as well,
Right.
Vita Chambers. Yeah, Bimrock was looking back. I made some really important connections from Bimrock, and I'm really grateful. Be a Puffy, definitely. Yeah, like some just really good memories actually. Like in the moment, sometimes it really was very stressful.
Right.
Kishmar can attest, who was the Kishmar and Damien, but looking back, actually, it just makes me feel kind of warm. Yeah, for sure.
There's another salon I have here, Capello.
Yeah, so Capello is like where everything really would have started for me. Like there are things that I learned at Capello that I would have taken to Palm Beach because I was already a licensed stylist by the time I got to Palm Beach. I did hair school twice. So I did it here and then I did it over there so I could get the international like experience and knowledge. Capello, Carlos Eversley, literally one of the best hairstylists, educators, confidants, friends, support systems that I've ever met. Basically when I met Carlos, I was like 14 and there was a particularly tumultuous season of my life. I was very broke. And I remember I was actually doing drag makeup for a friend of mine. Don't ask me why I know about drag makeup, child, because questionable. And he was like, I gotta go get my beard shape. And I was like, all right, whatever you do it, I do it because I need a drop because I'm wrecked. Like, and I remember Carlos was really kind to me when I was younger. And I was like, so I did hair school and I'm just wondering if you have any opportunities, you know, open to, you know, anything or be an assistant. I don't care. Cause I have no issue with starting at the bottom. That's one thing about me. Even if I know way more that I let people know that I know how to eat my humble pie and let it fill me for sure.
Right.
And I'm grateful to that guy because like Capello taught me a lot. It was rough in some ways. As I said, like I'm always kind of different, you know what I mean? And even if people don't notice it, I know myself. I know how I feel internally. So there's that. But probably I learned so much. I don't even know how to put it into words. I just know that I really appreciate Carlos and everybody that I work with. You know, they really helped me to be a better stylist. And I was able to teach. I have been able to teach a lot of other stylists as a result of everyone. I say Carlos because he was like the owner, but like actually everyone on that team, you know, junior stylist, doesn't matter. Everybody there taught me something. The clients, the everything. It was a very, 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 very big seasons of lessons and growth for me.
Nice. Is there anything that like stand out the most in that season that you think you bring with you today?
Carlos is one of the kindest people I know. He's a very selfless gracious person. And it is something that I would always try to like be aware of in my interactions with people. There's nothing wrong with being good to people. Not that I ever thought that, but just like seeing how good he has been to people. That definitely stands out. Yeah.
Okay. I think this is more present Antilia. Is that how you
The
pronounce it?
atelier. The
Atelier?
atelier. So the atelier is present, past, everything. The atelier means a room where you create art.
Okay.
So my blog used to be called The Atelier by Gigi, or Atelier by Gigi. I don't know. It's a long time ago. And I just kept it because branding, brand uniformity, consistency across the board. I have thought of changing it, but I think that season is nearing its end.
Okay.
And yeah, so a room where you create art. And I think the art that I've created in my room, literally now it is a room, is art around, not just hair, but like people's psyches and giving people a safe space to be heard and to be seen and to be felt and to be understood, and to be supported and uplifted, hopefully. So yeah.
Okay. So I went through all of these things because they're trying to paint a picture, not just for the viewers and
Those poor people.
but even for me that somewhat know you, and know you for years, I still have a hard time following. And it's not a bad thing.
No, it's fine. I understand. Trust me.
Multi-dimensional.
Yeah, that's what I said. Like, people know me, but I'm still very like, I did wake up to wisdom for years, and I'm very careful with what I share because sometimes too, like, Barbados is small. I really admire people who could get on here and just say whatever, but
it's not easy though.
It's not easy. I know it's not easy for sure. I know it wasn't ever even easy on Wake Up to Wisdom because like you date somebody, everybody know anybody. As you say something, did you talk about so Instagram today? And I know I see. And I'm like, it's not even him. Or even if it is, like, that wasn't the point. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and they get caught up with the wrong message and not, the essence of the story. Yeah, so you talk about
major and minors, right?
You talk about Wake Up to Wisdom, and I just want to let people know that in the pandemic, I was listening to your podcast.
Don't make me cry.
And you are one of the people who inspired me to start a podcast.
Remember, you told me that one.
I was like, Gigi,
special
do you know that Gems from Friends exists because of you?
Thank you.
One of the reasons, because I was like, I think I had the idea, but then when I saw you doing it, and I would never have the heart, I don't know yet, but I don't have the heart to do a solo part, like to sit down and just have a conversation. Not have a conversation, but a monologue.
Yeah. It was easier for me to do that, like given my personality and stuff. So like full disclosure, like I know I seem extremely extroverted and best believe I can still go out and, minister of enjoyment. But it's the music more so that like would grip me. Like I'm not like super extroverted at all. I mean, I guess like many musicians, like you perform, like I can't really see the people in the audience. And also when I'm doing like music or even doing Wake Up to Wisdom, I'm really in my own world.
Right.
So I do get what you're saying for sure, but I feel like I thrive in solitude. And so that was the easier route for me than interview, because people feel like you should start interviewing people, and I would, like, in the lives and stuff, but obviously Wake Up to Wisdom started long before that. Wake Up to Wisdom started in 2017, so and it was just solo dolo for like all those years until 2020 when I started doing lives during the pandemic.
What where already sparked Wake Up to Wisdom?
I was in a very, very bad relationship, and I never used to talk to people about anything. I was very private. So I don't remember if it was like somebody else's podcast or something, but like, well, I need to mention Vane. So just remind me, because I don't want to forget that.
Vane?
Yeah, Vane, the DJ. Because I have to as I say, I like to give people their flowers. Yeah, I was in a real rough relationship, man, and it wasn't good. And I couldn't even understand how I ended up in that relationship. Like, not being self-righteous, but I was like, yo, you have more sense than that, my G. Going on there. Shadow, but it was rough. And I began to realize, like, if I had just like talked to people more, I would have never stayed there that long. I would have never like put myself through those things for that long. And it was like, I realized engagement allows multiple people to grow. Like if other, because I would watch all these podcasts and stuff to like help, like to heal past the relationship, you know? And if those people never shared, I wouldn't have had an outlet or any tools, right, to heal. And I was like, okay. And I remember Van used to be like, yo, G, you got to do this. You're so funny. You should be a comedian. You should have a show like da 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 da. Right? Real New York-ish. I'm trying my best not to cuss y'all. And I would be like, I am not like that. I do not want to boy to know my business. Da, 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 da. She would be like, nah, like you don't understand. Like I'm telling you, she would just be like, she really believed in me, man. I don't know. Like she just thought that I was like,
She saw it. Yeah, she saw
yeah, like she just saw something that I was just trying to heal. I was really looking for nothing like that, to be honest with you, you know? For me, how I look on my inside is more important than how I look on the outside to people, to be very honest. So I wasn't checking for that at all. Like she's like, you could be famous. I'm like, I don't want to be famous. I don't care, you know?
Yeah.
But 2017 came, long story short. It's not a sad story. It's a good story. So do not get sad. I found a lump in my breast, had a cancer scare. And when I went to the doctor, I found out that I didn't have cancer. Give thanks. And I did have fibromyalgia. And when I found that out, I was like, I could have died. That's why I'm crying back, because it's like I find this lump. I was freaking out, obviously. I didn't tell nobody. I told like one person.
That's scary.
And I was young too, you know, like I was like, I never did nothing. I had a foolish fella. No offense to the fella, I just anymore, but we're saying that. We all got our story. And I was like, and I didn't even live. I never even get to be a blogger like how I wanted to be. I could just die. You know, I just...
You just went straight to think about
oh
death.
my God, I was freaking... I lost a lot of people to... I've lost a lot of people. And I've lost the people that I've loved most, some of them to cancer. So yeah, I did, you know. I don't think of it like that now, but let me tell you, I was on my floor in tears praying. I'm not even gonna lie. I was like, Lord, I promise you, Lord, if you just make sure I live, God, I promise I can do everything. I promise I'm not gonna be nervous no more. Lies. I always be nervous. But
I just was gonna ask you, did you keep any of the promises?
yeah, I started doing Wake Up to Wisdom that March.
That March.
Yeah, I had found out like in January. I had to wait to go to the specialist probably around February.
Right.
No, I found a lump in December. And I had to wait to go to specialist like maybe February. And I was freaking out. I was like, February, I could die. You know, just panicking. Yeah. But Wake Up to Wisdom started, and I listened to Vane a bit, you know. One morning I just woke up and started to do it. I realized like, it can't just be me, you know. I felt really stupid because I felt like, how could I end up in that situation, you know? But I'm older and wiser now, and I definitely see like how like tough seasons in our lives can allow us to be put in situations of vulnerability, but also like ignorance, you know, that you just don't know better sometimes. And you just think people are good people and maybe they're battling their own truth.
Sorry, there's so much things happening.
It's a lot.
The bad relationship, and then you finding the lump in your breast, and you having the cancer scare.
And that fibro. Yeah. Fibromyalgia.
Right. And then all of these things kind of push you, and then you have Vane in your ear too. So that kind of push.
I probably wasn't the only person, but Vane was definitely the loudest person in my ear saying like, you should do this. Like you don't even like see yourself. Like she always used to say this thing. She probably gonna kill me for saying this, but she used to be like, you're just so special. Like you're like a little nymph from fairyland. And I was like, what? Like,
yeah.
I'm a real G. I don't know what you mean. You know, like I always thought joke like that, but yeah, like it was a lot of things though. But what it did is it catalyzed something really good, something that ended up. I mean, yesterday I went to Italia Coffee House and this girl was like, "Hi, Gigi." I was like, "What does do this to me all the time?" But man, what's your name? Like, you know, it's Wake Up to Wisdom. They just know me from Wake Up to Wisdom. I help a lot of people. People I never thought it would help. Like, I'm glad I did it. You know, I'm glad I stopped being scared to share. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know that you ever check the gender of the people that listen and
It's mostly women, but I would say women and men and anybody in between. Mostly women though, because like I used to talk a lot about relationships. I would keep it real, but
I mean it's kind of woman focused in a sense.
Yeah, I mean, like girls like to say you're such a girl's girl. I'm like, because I don't know. So I was such a tomboy. Like I never really. But that's like they say that all the time. Like I guess they know better than me. I mean, they care about women for sure. For sure, I want to see women, but I care about people. Period.
Yeah, but men do listen to it.
Yeah, they do, and it's not the men people think. You know, like I remember one year jumping, and like I would be in, you know, like I don't really like the bougiest parties. Let me just be straight up, and like, you know, I don't want to insult anybody. I say this with all the love, believe you me, but the hood always supports me, like way more than the heights for sure. Not saying the heights doesn't support me, but I guess like just however I relay things. And I never saw that because I used to get teased for being like, oh my God, your name's Michaela. Like, you're so bougie, you know, but like they always support me. Like they always support me. Like I could go in Barbados right now and I know people that support me.
Yeah.
That's just how it is. Bailan right now and I know people that support me.
Where do you find the strength from? Like when you're going through all these different adversity and then you still come and find the strength to share, like where did that come from?
I don't know. You know, being being a psychology major, you hear a lot of things. Something I realized a couple of weeks ago is I have and I'm like, my therapist will tell me this all the time, but also therapy is good, guys. Go to therapy. If you can afford it. I have an insane level of emotional and psychological resilience. I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know, man. I don't know if it's just intrinsic. I don't know if it's epigenetics. I do not know. But I am actually a really strong person. And I think like I was really, really consumed by being as humble as I possibly could be just based on how I was raised and stuff. But like actually like one of my greatest truths and one of my greatest like I'm so glad that I'm like this. Like I'm insanely strong. Like people don't really know, as you realize, like, and I would just carry on and like no one would really know. Like when I went to work at Capello, is a friend of mine always laughs at this story. Like honestly, I had like $2.49 or something like that on my bank account. I was like, God forgive me, I thief to go that was off for somebody tree that was like not living in Barbados. I used to live in like St. George at the time, like deep in the country. And I was like, I gotta get something. I feel like I can pass out. I'm hungry, you know what I mean? And I don't know, like I just feel like life is for living with purpose, and I don't feel like I've reached my final form yet, so to speak. So like until I reach like my pinnacle, like I'm not gonna stop. Like I'm never gonna stop until like I'm really like living, like actualizing. Like that's really important to me.
Yeah.
You know, like living in purpose and legacy actually really matters to me. So I don't know if it's just like the hope of something in the future. I don't know, but I just know that like giving up is not really an option. Period. Yeah.
And you talk about strength, and that's like spiritually and emotionally, but you're also physically strong because they see that
I am physically really strong for myself. I don't realize it, but yeah.
You are a fitness champ.
Thank you.
I want you to take me through that journey.
Okay, so bad relationship. One thing I learned about myself was that I was a people pleaser.
Sorry, there's another bad relationship.
No, same.
The same one.
No, Lord, maybe no. We learn and we move on. No. I learned like a lot of stuff about myself through that. Like my introspection became like next level for sure. Cause I just couldn't figure out. I was like, how the hell I get here? Like it just was not adding up. So I was like, okay, people pleasing, we got to get rid of that. We need to learn to like lean into ourselves more, different things. It's a time. Cause like the timeline is like from like, we talking like 2013, 2012 to whenever. And then like fitness was like 2022. So things take time. Healing takes time. Your progression and your processes take time.
Sorry. So this relationship was when?
I don't want to give it away because people will be able to like,
then, yeah, they can connect.
It was in the early 2010s, I guess.
Okay.
Or whatever. Yeah. But yeah, like I just noticed things about myself, and so I kind of would like make lists of like, okay, how can I work on stuff bit by bit over time? And one of the things I was like, I you know, look, I'm in a job where like I'm of service to people. I was a stylist. I was of service to people. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I've always just been of service to people. And that's cute. But like there comes a time when you need to be of service to yourself.
Right.
So I was in therapy one day, and my friend actually at college, she was like, people used to ask me about bodybuilding all the time because once I found out I have fibro, basically started to jump around. But once I found out I have fibro, I started the gym because there's no cure for fibromyalgia. And then they were like, oh, you could go on medication, but I wasn't depressed, right? So the medication, I know the medications have multiple purposes, but the medication really is a medication that's used for depression because it numbs like your, like in layman's terms, basically it would be numbing your nervous system's response to stimuli, right? Because fibromyalgia, from what we understand about it, attacks your nervous system.
Okay.
Right. So it would make you less sensitive to stimuli and you'd be in less chronic pain and so on.
Okay.
But that didn't make sense to me if I wasn't depressed because I know how big pharma works. And I was like, there's going to be like other side effects to that for sure. Like, why would I do that if I didn't need to? Also, like certain medications can also be very expensive. So that was not even a thing for me. And I was like, okay, the first thing I thought when I left there, like when I left the doctor's office, kind of trying to like understand what it was okay, the gym, like I gotta get back into like sports and fitness because then I could like put more oxygen into my body and then my inflammation levels would decrease. This is how my brain works. So when you were like, do I have a problem skipping? No, because that's just how my like jumping from thing to thing. My brain is just going to like full, like I don't know. That's just how
overactive.
Yeah. So for sure, like literally. So that's just how it was. And then I started training. And for years, people would be like, you should do bikini fitness. You have the perfect physique for bikini fitness. You have the perfect genetics. But I didn't really care because it was just like, I just wanted to do stuff for myself. Like I didn't want to like go in front of people. They tell me, you know.
Yeah.
So then 2022 came. I was in therapy one day and I told my therapist, oh, like this thing came up about doing this fitness show. It was Stevenson Bell's show. I tell the formula into gym show. And I was like, I might feel like we try it because I won't want to do like nationals first. And that was it. And they did it and they won. And they did the next show and they won. And then they just kept winning for the most part. And then when it wasn't winning, it was like at least in the top 5 in the region. And
wow.
That was cool for me because like, yes, I'm good at things to people from jump, but actually I'm not. It takes time sometimes, you know, like as with anybody. But bodybuilding? Nah, like that was just for me. Like that was just literally made for me. Like it was crazy like how that went. And I was so happy because I felt like I don't really have to fight for this. Like I'm tough already. So like prep and stuff, it's not really that bad to me, like how it is for some people. It's like,
right. Because I was gonna ask you, like prep is just seemed like real hardcore.
nah.
So.
I was already eating different because I have fibro. I'm a very diligent person. If I need to start eating certain things, I start eating them. If I need to do whatever, I do it. You know, it's just, I might not get it perfect, but I will try to be as consistent as I can be. That's just how I am.
So like body imaging and like shaping your body or becoming stronger and fitter, has that lend anything to other sides of your life? And
yeah, for sure. For sure. I mean, like, you know, I've always played sports. It's not like bodybuilding is definitely not my first rodeo. I ran track. I played football. I dabble in a little water polo. You know, I like sports a lot, to be honest. But for me, bodybuilding just showed me like, is anything you want, G? Is anything you want, G? Even like, because I mean, like, there have been seasons of my life where I really forgot that, or like where I didn't feel intelligent anymore, or, you know, whatever, like things we go through, our lulls, right? Our ups and downs. Is anything you want? You just gotta remember that. Sometimes I still forget, but those trophies stay there to remind me, not because I feel like pieces of plastic represent who I am, but it's just reminders of a journey that like could never even, like you cannot really quantify what bodybuilding is for me. It's been one of the best things that ever happened to me in my life.
One of the best.
For sure.
Yeah. And you won titles, and
thankfully
you also give people flowers as you did on the show.
Always. People deserve their flowers when they could get them, for sure.
And there's one person that I see that you bigger is, her name is Danielle Gill.
Daddy, yeah. Daddy and I.
She to you during the process?
Daddy and I started competing the same year together, not the same comp, but the same year. She was just training too. Like when I started my fitness journey, we weren't like the biggest girls in the world, you know. So like it's easy to find people losing weight in fitness online, but it's not like that easy to find people trying to like gain weight.
Right.
So like when she was Beijing, and I don't know, we just hit it off. Well, no, actually, Daddy met me at the W salon when she was a kid, because she's like 10 years younger than me.
Okay.
But we just became like, I guess like, I don't know, like I don't have no other way to put it, like muscle sisters or something, you know, like
muscles.
And I don't really like to make new friends. So like I be a little bit cautious. Like I'll help anybody. I don't care. You could be my friend, my enemy. I don't really care. I will help anybody. But I'd be like, yeah, we don't need to be friends. You know what I mean? Like, but Danny is a person that has shown up in my life so consistently.
Right.
You know, like some people really show you like what love really looks like. And I think Danny is one of those people. It's like we just support each other. That's just what we do. Period. period. So I
Nice.
took a little break from bodybuilding now, but I'm still gonna support her and all the others. It's more than her, but like probably they won't resonate the same way because everybody's not from Barbados and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. So you, as a person who's a stylist, who's really into like imaging, you talk a lot about how things make you feel, not just how it makes you look. Like you could break that down for me, like, and what you think that's one of your mantras.
For me, it's just innate. But also like as I said, a lot of stuff that is cool now was not cool when I was like, you know, a teenager, right? Like I tell you, like for sure. So for me, style has always been an outlet, an expression, you know, and a way to like when I lived in Barbados initially and didn't feel like akin to the society in certain ways. I don't feel like that now, but I definitely back then felt that way. Style is like an escape for me, like a safe escape, you know. It's my world. I wear what I want to wear. I do what I want to do in my world, right? In that regard. It's just a form of art, you know. It's art you got to wear, and it's just I don't know. It's just beautiful, and for me, how it feels is everything because I'm doing it because of how it feels.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess that's the best way to put that. I never actually thought about that in that way before, ironically, but yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, because look at this stylist, and you go on her feed, and she's like into all this deep stuff, and you know, I don't want to say heavy, but a lot of wisdom.
No, heavy sometimes, real. That's life. Life is heavy sometimes. We shy away from that word a lot, but it's just real. It's heavy.
Yeah.
And I hope I'm deeper than the clothes alone, because that would just, I'd be so disappointed, child.
Yeah, man. So one of the other things I want to talk to you about, because I was listening to one of your episodes and you spoke about support. And you spoke about sometimes we have to accept that we are going to get support from other people and not from the people who we expect to get it from. So if you don't mind, if you could tap into that topic a little bit more, because I do see that in some cases, even in my circle, where, you know, sometimes you do things and you get, you also tap into a theory, and it's called the majority theory. I don't know if you remember you saying that, but you said the majority theory.
Listen, I ain't gonna lie. You see this semester, the amount of theories. Like I know this is not linked to that, right?
Yeah.
But I know you're talking about something else, and I could also have just made that theory up.
No, you did. It's something that you originated. Right? You just label it, right? But it's a framework.
Yeah.
You just label.
Yeah.
So it's actually you.
Yeah.
But I like how you
Run me back through it.
Yeah. So basically, it's like once the majority of people are supporting you, that you should just run with that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you also said that you still have to pay attention to how you feel when the people that you want give you the support don't give you the support. But so you found a way to cope with it by calling it the majority theory.
Okay, so anything I say with love, but I'm gonna just be very straight up, or as straight up as I can be respectfully. In my experiences in life, a lot of the people who have supported me have not been who I would have expected to support me. And this is a lot of us. It's not just me. In the Caribbean, in Barbados, in the West Indies, we, you know, doctor, lawyer, bank manager, blah, 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 etc. Yeah? All right, so I find sometimes we have like these parent-child relationships that are very compromised. Nobody likes to talk about them. In fact, it's easier, I think, for people to hear about it when it's molestation or being neglected in the sense of like going to like a children's home. But a lot of people live with their parents, live with their siblings, live with their families, and their parents' families don't know them. In fact, most people. You understand? In my reality, like, even in sports and stuff, I think that sometimes like the people closest to us don't really understand our vision and our dreams. My dreams have always been gargantuan. I don't really like small dreams. I'm already small. We don't have no more time for that small stuff. You understand? And like, they just didn't have that scope. Something I really had to learn is like, and I learned it from the majority, and this is probably why I said that. you will not always get like the vision is not for everybody. Some people have a myopic view just because that's their experience, that's all they have, that's their capacity. And something my therapist says that I think is profoundly true and beautiful is they're gallon people and they're pint people. I had to learn to move past being so deeply entrenched in humility that I could actually see myself, and I'm even nervous to say it now, as a gallon person. As a gallon person and not a pint person.
Gallon.
Yeah, a gallon. Yeah. The way I saw that was because of like Wake Up to Wisdom, to be honest. Like I would be jumping in a crop over bar and like random people like, you, I love your blog. I done with my man. Like I'd be like, yo, I never told you done with your man, my girl. Or like I started to do this thing, or like just a lot of people that would reach out to me. And I was like, all right, so the people that I want to see me are not necessarily seeing me, which wasn't to do with the public at all. But there's like hundreds of people here seeing me, like, and that started to make me look at myself different. Like I've had a lot of, like, slip and slides in my life, a lot of downfalls or whatever in my life. My life could have been very, very different. Like if I had predispositions to certain things, my life could have just been very different. You know, I'm very lucky. But the majority has always, well, not has always, but in more recent years, the support, the like people just appreciate me. I didn't even understand it. I still don't even think I understand it. You know, people tell me that all the time. Up to last week, my friend was like, "You be getting me so annoyed. Like, I don't feel like you be annoying." You know, I'd be like, yeah, we'll see. You know, I guess that's not like the fanfare of it is not important to me. The message and people getting the message is important to me. And when they started to realize like a lot of people actually this is something they value, this is something that means something to people, this is helping people, you know, you realize that maybe the minority really just isn't your audience, you know, even if you wish they were.
So one of the things that
I try to be a little vague still and be respectful, but hopefully people get it. Yeah,
I got you. I think people would pick up on it too.
Smart man.
I would tell some of my coaching clients that your strangers is going to be your supporters.
Always.
When you going through your product and you're looking at your target audience, your customers are not going to be your friends. You know,
and forget friends. Like I'm not even talking about friends. Like
friends,
I was,
family,
I was always like conditioned enough to know, like, you know, I was an athlete, so I know like how a lot of the greats would say like, sometimes those people are not going to be your people, you know, like I had that, and maybe that's a part of the reason why I am also so resilient, because being an athlete, like you have to create a level of resilience, period. It doesn't matter like what level you're at. Once you want to be really good or be the best, which is always my goal, you have to have that. But like for me, that used to hurt me a lot, because I'm like, but why all of these like I remember one time I standing ovations at this show that I was singing at. I mean, like must be about 700 people on their feet. I cried, and I was just like, yeah, but then like these people don't even see me. You know, I would always feel so small around those people, and it's just those few people were the people I actually cared about their opinion. And that's how it is with the people closest to us. They have the ability to impact us the most, and sometimes unfortunately they hurt us the most. It's just what it is. So but the majority thing, I mean, like as I said, you know, thank you for Vane, thank you for the guy with the relationship, thank you for the whole journey, because I don't really think I knew, like, you know, like people would be like, you're so different, so amazing, and I would be like, okay. I really didn't know. I don't know, but now I know more. It is a culture thing partially. Like our culture has evolved so much, you know, so much in the past like 20 years. Initially being different, you know, dressing like how I dress right now. I don't dress much different than I did when you met me. I've been dressing like this for years. But things play a different role in different seasons, in different eras, right? And culturally, I remember like in Barbados, I've had people tell me some of the worst things, or people like, "That crazy girl," or like, "She's so eccentric." Now I'm very literal in some cases. So I'm like, I'm not even eccentric. 1 million people in New York look just like me. 1 million people in London look just like me. But Barbados that just wasn't the vibe. You know, we looked like that. You and I maybe at like you know, puffy or whatever. But that wasn't really the vibe. And I have held a lot of heat for being myself in my lifetime for sure. So it's taken a lot of resilience to move past certain dialogues, like becoming your internal dialogue, because you just hear it so much.
And I also meant from the support perspectives. So like, for instance, like And I can talk because you said the parent and child thing. So I can say like, you know, like sometimes you come out in a household and you could go over and you could take over the world and you could come back home, but it's still on.
They don't know. They don't have a clue what's going on. Even though, like, I mean, big up my parents and everything. My parents don't even know I'm here right now.
Right.
They don't even, and I don't know, like, I just don't really bother. It's, yes.
Yeah. I just bring it up to not to personalize it for you.
No, but like literally, I mean, it's like, don't, like, you go home, but when you're home, you're not the person you are in the public eye, like, at all.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
for sure. Not necessarily even in a bad way. It's just different.
I think people you grew up with, I don't think they could see past who you were in the past.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know? And the Bible lesson I always go back to is that, you know, that Jesus never really performed a lot of miracles back home in Nazareth.
Makes no sense.
Because the faith level was low. Because at any day, you mean Joseph, son? You mean carpenter? You know what I mean?
People
I feel
have a hard
like
time changing their it's like a comfort zone, right? Like they're comfortable with who they think you are.
Yeah.
And most people, like most of us don't even really ask the questions to really get to know people. You know what I mean? So people will be like, this is who you are. So then you have to, like, you're changing their whole scope. Who tell you they're comfortable with change? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just so.
And Gigi, a lot of things that you're doing is I called the word earlier before we start recording, whiplash. Like trying to follow you is a whiplash.
Yeah. So full disclosure, like I'll just say it so like I got it out there and stuff. Yeah. So I have ADHD, like pretty bad. I didn't take my ADHD meds today because I was like, sometimes like, I just wanted to bring you me without any filters.
Got it.
Right, as much as I could. I have ADHD actually.
Say again.
ADHD, so like autism and ADHD combined, basically.
Okay.
So I got diagnosed last year. Yeah, last year. And I do not have the ADHD that y'all see on Instagram. Like ADHD is where I did not finish BCC, did not finish UE, didn't go to class. And so to explain those panic attacks is probably just like autistic meltdown, where you just, it's too much stimuli, too much feeling, and you just kind of just shut down. But when you are conventionally, I mean, I'm not saying I'm the most beautiful woman in the world, but when you are conventionally attractive enough, when you're smart enough, also a Black woman from the Caribbean, you know, one, we didn't have the tools to diagnose when I was younger. And two, to be honest, people just be like, nothing wrong with she. Everything fine with she. You know, bitches. Again, like to put people into their truth versus what we would like to, versus the caricatures that we create of people to make ourselves comfortable.
Right.
You know, the comfort is in the caricature that we create.
Yeah.
So... yeah, my stories always be like, last when I bought my ADHD meds, which I didn't even want to start, but then I got a C and then in a quiz that I shouldn't have. So I was like, yeah, forget that. We're going on the meds. Yeah, I do. And so when you were like, oh, it's like whiplash, and I'm like, yeah, that's just how my brain works. Like, it's never going to be whiplash to me. Like, I can see the guys in the back go like, Jesus Christ. He's like, no, but usually the guys in the background are like, whew. But even with like music and stuff, it's always been a thing. It's always been around. It's always been there. And you know, to be highly intelligent and see yourself not be able to do certain things. I'm not saying I'm a genius or anything, but I'm definitely learning that I'm not as average as I thought I was. And ADHD is one hell of a thing. And if you think you have it, and if you think you are on the spectrum, and also please stop some of bitches do that actually really pisses me off. Bitches have this thing about autistic kids. People are autistic. They do not grow out of autism when they become adults. Okay, you are autistic or you are not autistic. Period. End of story. And it doesn't look the same way. You could be hyperlexic or you could be non or pre-verbal. There are so many variables to it. I didn't want to come on the pod because I wasn't sure if I wanted to share that. Okay. But then it was like, you know, it is what it is. Otherwise, it makes no sense. Like, as one of my friends said the other day, she has ADHD. She's like that. Sometimes she'll have to explain to her bosses and stuff because they'd be like, this girl crazy. Like, she just all over the place. Like, what's going on? Like, but it's not that. It's just your neurocognitive ability exists differently.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right. Okay. I mean, like, you're educating me, and I think people need to be
I have
educated.
educated everyone because truthfully, like, it's not easy. It's like you're living in a world where you are living in a neurotypical world, being neurodivergent, right?
Right.
And the world is not made for neurodivergent people. I think we made the world very beautiful, you know, music, art, philosophy, science, but it's not the easiest thing. Is I think too, like, if you're not explaining it to people constantly, is like, you know, people wouldn't really understand. And also in Barbados, unfortunately, we don't understand how like neurocognitive disorders work. We don't understand how mental health disorders work. We don't understand how addiction works. I mean, big up the people that did Between a Rock and a Hard Place. Like, you know, we don't get it. We don't get it. We will call people paros. We bastardize things that are very serious things.
Yeah, we group everybody into
and with ADHD and autism or ADHD being so trending on socials now, like, that's why I never really said it online, really.
Yeah.
I've recorded a ton of TikToks about like my experience, like my first day taking meds. What does it feel like? I never posted it because it just was like, people gonna be like, oh, she just want attention, or oh, she just do it saying that because it's trending. It's not a trend. I don't know who want to use it as a trend. I don't know why you would want to use it as a trend. It's hard. I didn't go to my exams even though I knew my work, just because I just couldn't move out of my bed. You know, I got overwhelmed and I had like analysis paralysis, I guess, to put it in a like way. I'm also good at multiple things because I am on spectrums. You know, if I learn music, I learn music. And I remember once somebody asked me if I went to Berkeley. Let me tell y'all, to go from where I came from to somebody asking me if I went to Berkeley to do music, I was like, Berkeley? Like a street in town? What do you mean? No, you know. But it has been a journey, and I'm very grateful to know. But it's not easy.
Right.
It's not easy. It's not easy. And I would encourage anybody who is neurodivergent to just.
What made you go and get checked?
Okay, so two things. One, way back in the years at America's Next Top Model, when I was about 15, there was this girl and she had what, we don't use this terminology anymore, especially now, Lord knows, but she had what was then called Asperger's syndrome. And I was listening to her and I was like, I know I don't present this way, but I feel that way. And it always stuck with me. I always remember that. This is, I don't even know how many years later. And I was like, that's so weird. And I was like, but you're not going to tell anybody that, because like everybody gonna be like, you're so confident, you're so well spoken. So, you know, like, as we say, when people have a view of you, they don't really like it to change.
They don't want change.
So that was the first kind of like inkling outside of just feeling very, 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 very different a lot. Always feeling different, like as far back as I could remember. So there was that. The next thing was in 2021, I was trying to study for my personal training exams to certify. And I literally, like, at times I could not focus beyond like 2 minutes. Like, I would be reading the same thing over and over and over again, and I would not be taking in anything. And I'm talking like biology, like simple biology that I definitely knew for years. You know, it's not anything overly complicated. And I just couldn't focus. And then that carried on. Like, I think I couldn't really afford to go to therapy at that point in time. So then I started to go in 2022. Went to this therapist. She was like, I don't think she specialized in neurodivergence or trauma, to be honest, of which I've experienced both. So, and anyone who is neurodivergent and late diagnosed or not diagnosed probably is going to experience trauma, because you're trained to survive in a very distinctly different world than what is best for you.
Yeah.
So, that is probably also why I am subconsciously resilient, because it's just it's like the only reality that I've ever experienced. So it's just my normal. Anyway, ended up finding out about this wonderful clinical psychologist from a client and friend. I said, I want to try this woman. I feel she can handle me. You know what I mean? I don't feel like her eyebrows were raised too much. You know what I mean? Like, she'd be all right. And I went to her, and like from the first session, I tried to just be as me as I could be. And I just draw everything on the table. Because honestly, when I go to therapy, like, it's expensive. I don't really go there to waste no time. We got things to deal with. You understand?
Yeah.
I got a list. Let's get down to it. You know? And that was basically it. I just had a feeling. I was having too many symptoms. You know, even music. Like, if you really see me when I'm taking in music, I'd be taking in so many different parts of the music at the same time. It's not normal. I mean,
Yeah.
normal is not a thing, but you get what I mean.
Yeah. Do you
Yes.
ever feel inferior, like when, because you're coaching people now, right? Did you ever feel like you don't want to share this because it might affect how
Nah, like
people
my
view you?
clients know I just hesitated to share on socials. A lot of my clients are doctors as well. They
Okay.
work like medical adjacent. And I try to choose clients in my coaching practice as well that I don't coach people I don't want to coach, to be honest with you. I really, really don't. I choose people that feel good for me to coach. I've spent a lot of my life in feeling very uncomfortable. Like most of my adult life, especially feeling very uncomfortable in my jobs. Like I try to give people the best experience for them, but that often resulted in me being super uncomfortable,
Right.
super drained, super fatigued, mentally, physically, emotionally, everything. And I just don't really want to feel like that anymore. Also, it's not healthy. Like you'll literally get sick. Like there is a reason why I probably have fibromyalgia. There are probably a couple reasons. So yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Breathe,
Okay.
man. It's okay.
Yeah, I breathe in.
I'm good. I'm good. I hope y'all are okay. I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gee, I mean, like you got a lot, and I haven't even tapped into like everything I really wanted to.
I'm sorry.
Because no, you don't have to be sorry. I mean, it is all part of the process, even if you gotta come back. But
I'm less nervous to come back now, though.
you see,
I couldn't even sleep.
it's so harmless, you know.
I not scared of you. I think it was just scared of sharing my truth, and that's why at a point just now I was like, just talk your truth, girl. Don't worry about it. Like who understands. Who doesn't understand, it's just not for them, and it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter, and that's a big place for me to get to because I have not felt inferior in coaching, but I've probably felt inferior in every other area of life.
In other area,
every other besides coaching and bodybuilding.
Right. So you feel at home, like not at home, but you mean more confident with the bodybuilding and.
I feel like I have gotten to a stage too where I just mask less. You know, my therapist is like, yeah, you gotta stop that. That can make you sick. Like you have to stop. Like you just have to just be.
Yeah.
You know, and it took a long time because I don't even think I knew how to be. Not that I was lying or anything. It's just that all of us do this thing where we operate in a certain way in order to keep ourselves safe, in order to, you know, get through work, whatever, you know. But it's just for me, I would have, and many people, you know, you do it like on a different level because you're so coaching like is a joy. I like to see women. I only coach women as you mentioned, and I love to see women thrive and bloom. I would still ease over and coach the footballers a stretch. I would encourage anybody. Actually, that's why I went to like I went to a football game last night, as I mentioned, and it was just because one of my boys, I really believe I believe he could be the best there is. You know, I believe he could do exceptionally well and be on the world stage. And I went to support him because I like to see people win. I like to see people thrive. It's really big to me. And I love coaching. I've been coaching since I was really young, actually.
Yeah. Listen, right? I know they got a lot of labels to these things, right? Like, and you get diagnosed with this and all these different things on the spectrum. I'm not going to belittle that. I'm not saying that there's a medical thing to that. Yes, of course.
Yeah, for sure there is. But
I personally believe that some of y'all or some of us are just superhuman. I think you are superhuman because no, the reason I'm saying that the way how your brain works.
Yeah, it's different. I'm coming to like appreciate it more. I remember going to the doctor because you have to like get checkups and stuff because it's pretty serious medication and you have to really like monitor it. I said, yo, I felt like a matrix opened up in my brain that was always there and I couldn't access it for 18 years. I felt like my life has stopped for 18 years. Which is crazy.
You said it felt like it stopped?
Yeah, like it was on pause, like how I really am, like how I really think. You can't go in the salon and talk about certain things, you know, nobody's really interested.
Yeah.
I used to go home and watch neuroscience lectures at Stanford because like my brain was so bored. I didn't want to cry.
No, it's funny.
And that doctor that my friends gonna laugh bad now. That doctor that
nobody laughing at you.
I don't care. It's human. It's fine. But that doctor that diagnosed me with fibro, also my makeup, man. You see this now? Now that doctor that diagnosed me though with fibro, he said this thing to me, and a lot of my clients have heard me say this and stuff. He said, what did you do before you were a hairstylist? He said, no offense to hairstylist, but what did you do? I said, why do you think I did something before I was a hairstylist? He said, what you did, didn't you? I said, yeah, I did a lot of things before I was a hairstylist. He said, just tell me some. So I told him. He said, I thought so. He said, you don't want to go back and do none of them things? And in my mind, I'm like, dude, I have a lump in my breast. Why are we talking about this? You know, like, focus. I could die, right? He said, okay, you don't have cancer. He has plenty variables. He has plenty fibro thing. He asked me about the fibro symptoms, blah, blah, blah. And at the end, he just said, underwhelm is, and I will never forget this, and anybody can tell you, I don't have the best memory, to be honest, but he said, underwhelm is just as bad, if not worse, than overwhelm. And my dear, your brain is severely underwhelmed. I have forget I had any sense in my head, Matt, beyond like doing her, you know, like, to be honest with you. Like, I was like, well, I failed. Like, I didn't get my degrees. I failed not even once, like twice, you know, like, so. He wasn't trying to not hairstylists or say that they're not intelligent. In fact, many hairstylists are highly intelligent. Some of them also did law that I worked with or whatever. And intelligence is not solely academic, right? There is this thing called the multiple intelligence theory that I did not make up. And it speaks to that, right? But I just forgot. And that was 2017. Yeah. And he reignited something in me. Like, he would never know. And I can't wait to get my PhD. So I could just show him and say, thank you so much. I hope by then, like, he's still around. He does this for everybody. Like, it's not just me. Like, that's just who this man is as a person. I don't know. He is superhuman. I think being superhuman is when you could, like, take people that, like, forget who they are, bring them back to who they are.
Yeah.
Like, that's priceless. Like, I told myself I wasn't going to cry, but to be honest, it took me so long to get here. It's taken me so long to get here. Like, I have batted below my weight for so long. That's why you have to do wake up to wisdom and talk to people or whatever too, because, like, honestly, there's so many people who just don't know. And if somebody doesn't let them know, sometimes the people closest to them will never let them know, because they too may be battling things. It may not be anything bad, you know. And big up all the people that came on before me, Sheena especially. Helped me to be brave. Yeah, for sure. Sheena hit me different. And Nikita.
Yeah. Well, I'm happy that you made it and that you share it.
Sorry that I cry, but
no, it's all good.
It's actually so much bigger than me why I'm even doing what I'm doing, and I'm happy that I've had the opportunities in my life to be on shows like this and to impact people like you to even do something like this.
Yeah,
it's very humbling.
Definitely,
and I appreciate it. And keep doing what you're doing, Matt. It's very important.
Thank you. And I want you to keep doing what you're doing.
It's inevitable. This is where I am. I can't help.
Because you realize the domino, right? That happened.
Of course I did. From jump. Like, it's everything. It's everything. It's everything. And even about socials, like, yeah, people, you know, trivialize things. But if not for all these social media stuff, I probably wouldn't have really realized I actually had ADHD. I didn't even know women could have ADHD, and that kind of catalyzes everything. So everything helps the other thing if we let it. Yeah.
Were you able, when you were diagnosed, were you able to then connect dots and then say, oh, so this is why I reacted this way. This is why that happened.
Yeah, like, okay, I'm crying now, but, like, understand I wasn't crying then. Like, people go through a thing where they have a grief because they get diagnosed. They're like, oh my God, my life could have been this. Nah, like, I was just like, I got it now though, so I can do it. Like, I honestly, like, in my lifetime, I lost too many people and stuff, like, young and thing, to be like lamented, like, oh, it could have been so good. Da, 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 da. I don't know that. I don't know that it would have been different if I was diagnosed earlier. But I know that being diagnosed right now in this season is probably one of the best things that could have happened to me. And I plan to optimize that as much as I can. I plan to give that back as much as I can. And that's why I was like, it's so much bigger than me. Like, it's so much bigger. It's policy, it's infrastructure, it's everything. So yeah, it's purpose.
I feel it.
Real, like there will be people who will laugh, there'll be people who talk junk, whatever, that's fine. But for the people that need it, I'm always going to keep doing the work. I don't care. Like, I have to do the work. It's just, I think that is, like, literally my purpose in this life. Service, but in a little different way now, you know?
I believe in your wisdom.
Thank you.
There's a lot of things that you say and a lot of things that you have a way of internalizing things and then being able to articulate it in a way that others can understand. Thanks. And you do it in a way that it also comes out in a joke.
Yeah.
At the same time. And then you kind of spin it with a Jamaican accent sometimes. Yeah. It's be funny to me.
Something.
but there's a lot of wisdom in it.
Thank
and
you.
someone sent me a message today on the platform, and they said I can ask you
Okay.
because they believe in your wisdom.
Thank you.
But this person was very frustrated. This was a lady, and she said, how do you react, or what should you do when you are trying everything you can and you keep getting pushed down? Don't matter what you try, there's always stumbling blocks coming your way. And she has been in a particular job, doing a trade for X amount of time. And then she sees somebody come and
move beyond her.
And they only did 2 years. I'm not going to disclose who it is for her privacy.
Of course.
But how would you answer that question? What would you say to her?
So 3 things. I'm going to give her a tool to regulate, a tool to navigate. And you and I share a very good friend, Sue-Ann Tanis.
Yes.
An exit strategy. Because Sue-Ann
I just hear her voice just now.
Virgos, honey, and we will have a strategy, whether you know or not.
I just heard her voice. I just said that. Yeah.
Exit strategy is start to look for new work. It's not your environment anymore. Years ago, I would have said, just stay diligent after.
Yeah.
Start to look for new work. Don't let nobody know. Do it quietly. Do it through an agency if you need to, but start to look for new work. Believe in yourself enough to recognize that you do have the capacity to do something different in a different space.
Yeah. Sometimes
we are at the wrong address with the right credentials, and it's never going to be enough for that address. I promise you, experientially, I promise you. Could be a relationship, a job, a university, it doesn't matter. A country, whatever. The next thing I'm going to do is talk about the importance of perspective and perception. My perspective of life has saved me a lot of times, even when I was dead broke. Even when me and a wonderful ex that I have was sharing a snack box together, and the snack box only had in one piece. I think it had much, but we was good because perspective and perception. You have to begin to envision yourself in a different place. You have to begin to perceive yourself where you need to be. You have to be able to see yourself differently than you do now. And you have to recognize that what you experiencing now is not forever. Is not forever. And you cannot allow it to become forever. In Caribbean, we have this thing, stay in a job for 40 years, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to inform everybody watching now. That is an after effect of colonialism, post-World War II societies, and coming out of the Great Depression. Now, we are in a very challenging time in the world, but baby, please let it go. You don't have to do that. You are not a tree, as they say. Get up and move, but do it strategically. Allow yourself to envision your biggest and your greatest self. It sounds silly, but practice it every single day. Practice it, write it down in a book, something, till you believe it. Right? And do not allow your current environment to dictate the rest of your life. Right? Don't allow it to be a prophetic fallacy. It's a lie. You don't allow things that you don't want to determine your life to prophesy over your life. That's crazy. And we do it a lot, but it's not okay. The last thing I'm going to do is when you get overwhelmed, because inevitably if that's the environment you're in, you're overwhelmed. There is a box breathing technique that I share with people all the time. It's very, very simple. We're going to take 4 breaths in, hold for 4 breaths, and release through the mouth specifically. The amount of tension that builds up in your body is profound, but also because I'm a neuro nerd, you need oxygen in your brain for it to work properly. And if you're breathing like this, because you are so stressed and anxious, shallow breathing, right? Your brain is never going to get the level of oxygen it needs. Now, that is not full science, but I need people to understand it simply. Nobody need my super intense explanation. That's 3 tools. And a bonus, write down things you're grateful for. I do not know what it is about gratitude and abundance, but they follow each other. And if you curate a habit around the abundance of your gratitude, even if it's just one thing, even if you're just thankful for a tin of sardines, you're thankful for your little toe or your big toe because it's keep you balanced. I don't care what it is. It could be anything, your tongue because you could taste. There's so much we have to be grateful for that if we lost, I'm telling you, we would wish for it again. So you foster gratitude and somehow, and I said what I said about we are very broke for a reason. When you do not have anything besides hope or a talent, she says she's in a trade, you have a skill. You have something. Go to what's the place? The Trust Barbados. Yeah, business plan.
Right.
Do something. Do it for you. And don't let these people style you. Sorry, but they're like life is too precious. Too many people wish they could still be here with us now. Do what you got to do for you. Don't let them end you. And yeah, it's just not worth it. You're worth more than that. I don't know you, but whoever you are, you're worth more than that.
I love it. Thank you. And thanks for coming, G.
Thanks for being patient. And
timing is everything.
Yeah, it was a crazy time for sure. But yeah, thanks for having me and thanks for having this platform. And I wish you endless success in all you do.
And I want you to keep doing Wake Up with wisdom.
I'm gonna tell you all the truth. Listen, this semester, the semester out of me. I said, child, I'm not 20, I'm tired.
Listen, even if you just drop like one.
Yeah, I be on TikTok a lot, no more than Instagram, to be honest. But
okay,
after this, I gotta go on Instagram, because now I got a little boost. I'm like, oh, let me just use it. you know how the algorithm works. Like, right, good, thanks, Matt. Yeah, no, and plus I'm studying now, so like I'm a little easier now. But thank you so much for having me. Thank you to the team. Thanks for waiting on me. I was a bit late, guys, but no, first things come first.
You were on time. You were on time. If you did anytime, it's fine.
Thank you.
All right, and that is a wrap. How you feel?
I'm all right. 10 hours later.
You are watching Gems from Friends with Matthew Future.
No, I went to football last night and I was I don't know, just because I was like, she finally doing it with it because like we waited so long and I like built it up and we made a lot and I'm like, why am I'm never really nervous for stuff like this, but or maybe I'm always nervous. I don't know. I'm very like I'm very guarded, I'm very
yeah,
to be honest.
But for somebody that is be so out there,
I'm open but I'm cautious.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure.
So what do you think would possibly happen when you come on Gems?
I think human beings are interesting.
No, I mean like what do you think will happen to you?
I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? I saw one of my friends this morning, he was like, G, you're always talking, you're gonna be fighting. Just relax. It's like yeah, but I always talking about myself. That's different.
Yeah. But and the good thing is that, we're not live, so
yeah. But I like to be candid still. That is actually very important to me. Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah. And also I'm happy to be here. I'm really proud of you and I am really proud of how far you've come. It's been a beautiful thing to watch for sure.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I was reminded how far back it was that we kind of was in each other's space because...
What, you and I?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
years.
And I didn't really think about it. And it was like, oh shoot. And it feels because we both reinvented ourselves so much.
Yeah.
Like,
and
it just feels like we are like different people.
I feel like we've both been around the same industries too, because I was doing music, you was doing music. I was styling musicians, you was doing music, and I was
managing musicians.
Yeah, you were handling artists, I was handling artists, so.
And then you got into branding and...
I do a lot. I've done a lot.
So we got a lot to talk about.
Yeah. Yeah, because we actually really have known each other for so long.